All right, zone 5 has a sprout block. This is the first time we have seen the sprout block. And we make it 3 times, and all 3 times it's the same fabric in the same orientation. So once you know how to make it once, you know how to make the others. We won't remake the video, so go ahead if you want and make those sprout blocks. You can work ahead on some of these. Okay, let's do our sprout block. All right, this is the first time we're seeing the sprout block in our Floral Felicity pattern. And the sprout, let's find it in the book. Is on pages 52 and 53. And I think we make this we make it 3 times. So we're making it zone 5, zone 6, and zone 10. And this is a fun little bonus block. This could be fun, worked into other patterns as a border feature. It's just very fun. So again, I have all my pieces already cut and labeled. Makes it very easy to work a few, blocks at a time. So our first step is, let's look at the pattern. Let's process. What are we using? All right, we are going to make twist C and twist D. These are in orange text, orange font, orange color. So we're using the orange lines. And this one, we need to pay attention. Is it right side up or right side down? So the first one, I have 2 leaf 1. So leaf 1 is kind of the medium green. So this one, and I'm cutting both of these right side up. So go ahead and switch those. Both of those are right side up. And then I'm doing let's see, 2 1/4 by 4. And I'm going to go ahead and cut it now while I have it set up. I'm using the orange dashed line right there. You can see that. Let's get closer. I have the orange dashed line. Put that on the corner of the block right here. They're both right side up. Go ahead and cut in your curved slot. This is your garbage discard, and now you have 2 that are right side up. C pieces. Now for the next one, I have I have my yellowish one, and this is 2 1/4 by 4, and this should be right side up. And I'm doing the same cut. I've got my dashed orange. Go ahead and line it up on the corner. Cut in the curved slot. Discard. That's my C piece. And then on my D, I should have 2 that are 2 1/4 by 4. I can tell I did not cut that right. So now I'm thinking, do I have another piece? Have I grabbed the wrong 2 1/4? All right, let me pause and check my cutting. All right, I checked. No, I just should have cut this at 2 1/4 by 4, and I cut it 2 3/4. So we'll just trim that off. Now we're at the right size, and then check, is this right side up or right side down? This is right side down, both pieces. So right side down, we're going to make the same cut. Here's my dashed orange line. Go ahead, line it up, and cut in the curved slot. This is discard, and now these face the opposite direction. So these will actually go like that. Very nice. All right, let's see. one more thing. We are cutting some background pieces. We need to add curves here. So we should have five of these, and 3 of them are right side up. So let me separate. So I have 3 right side up and 2 right side down. So I will just stack those. I'll do this in 2 cuts. I'll do my right side up here, line it up on the dashed orange marks. Right here is where your fabric sits in the V. And I know I am not keeping this, so the pattern shows don't keep this. This is a C piece. You can put it in that extras bag in case you need to, you know, need an extra C out of background. And then this I will cut the same cut, but these are right side down. And now I know that my next step is to go ahead and match those up. I have 2 in this set and 3 here. Okay, these will, we like to show at this orientation, and then these we like to show, you know, that you have here and here. So when you're sewing on this, on these, remember how we always keep concave on the bottom. So to go to the sewing machine, for these, concave stays on the left. This flips over. You have a 1/4 inch tail right here. We will sew that curve. We'll do the same with all of those. For these 2, concave is on the left. So now we start at the other end and leave a 1/4 inch tail again, and then we'll sew both of those. So let's go to the sewing machine and do some curved piecing. All right, we'll go ahead and chain piece all of these. 1/4 inch tail. We're all lined up. First thing, sew a few stitches. You can try your hands, try switching your hands if you're still not comfortable. These are small pieces. I just kind of, and even right here, if you need to stop, kind of get it in the right spot, put it down. I kind of pinch on the side and let it sew off. And we have 2 more just like that. And again. And then we'll do our other orientation. So for that one, and when you get done, you should still have a 1/4 inch tail on this side. So if you're getting a really long tail, then you're pulling as it is feeding. So really try not to pull. And we'll do one more. All right, we will press to our focus fabric or press to C, and then we'll square up. I have pressed to the focus fabric here, press to C. Now let's go ahead and stack these up in the ones that are the same orientation. So we have 2 piles here. We're going to work with this one first. We have 3 blocks that look like this. We're going to use our Wonder Curve ruler and go ahead and make it look like the pattern. So you look at the pattern, how are they shown? Let's start with this one. And we are making a 1, see what size we're making, 1 3/4 times 3. So for 1 3/4, I know what I need to do is I have the orange dot down here on the curve. I'll zoom in. Okay, orange dot is here. And then the 1 1/2 is right here, and I'm going to put that right on the curved line, the curved seam. And the extra 1/4 inch over here, that'll be our seam allowance. But for this one, we want to make sure that the curve is going to be at the, you know, where your seams will come together when you sew all your blocks together. So I'm all set up. Go ahead, trim 2 sides. Remember, you can adjust for directional fabric by just, you know, shifting the ruler with your marks on the curve. And then rotate 180 degrees. This time you look at your final measurement marks, 1 3/4 and 3. So 1 3/4 and 3, and cut off whatever is left. All right, let's do it one more time. I'll walk you through it. And again, the 1 1/2 is right on my curve here. And then the orange dot is on my curve on the other side. Now we're looking at 1 3/4 and 3. All right, let's do the other direction. Here, make it look like the pattern. Pattern shows the block is oriented this way. Now we're going to use the orange dot up here, orange dot on the seam, and 1 1/2 inch mark on the seam. Can I get my size? Yes, I have plenty of fabric. Go ahead and trim 2 sides, rotate, and then put the 1 3/4 and 3 on your trimmed edges here, and trim off whatever is left. If you are left-handed, for all of the pattern, just turn your book 90 degrees to the left and set up your fabric the way that orients, and then you can always cut away from yourself. We try to be consistent on all our patterns so that, you know, you will get used to the words we use, the pictures, how they're oriented. Okay, the 1 1/2 and the orange dot. Oh, guess what I did? You just saw that. And that's what happens. Dang it. Okay, I'll be remaking this block because there's no fix for it. It's now 1/4 inch too skinny. Okay, that's why you have that scrap bag. So get that out. Helen, go remake your block. Okay, well, let's do one more. And you know what? I don't even know how that happens. Your brain knows what it's supposed to do, but your fingers do something else. You're like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. Nope. All right, I'll walk you through how I easily go ahead and fix, like, oh gosh, I cut it wrong. I got to go make it again. So I just cut off, you know, I got out my scrap bag, cut off a piece. I haven't even cut it to size. So I'll show you this. I know this is the one that's right side down. Don't cut it to size. at this stage, you're just trying to get your shape. And go ahead and put a corner. I have cleaned up 2 corners. Put a corner on the spot you need, and here's my shape that I need. So that's, because you might need this bigger size for something else. So then go through, and so that, if that helps you at all, that's my quick little tip. All right, we are back in business. I went ahead and made my block. All right, so now we're just looking at the pattern. We go ahead and lay it out the way it shows. I have my CD pieces. And then this is a just your extra one that your pattern had you cut. And then I have some 1 3/4 pieces here. So they get sewn in. Okay, go ahead, sew into columns, press seams open, sew columns together, press seams open. And then for this one, we actually have some extra setting pieces, but let's do our sprout block first. Here's the basic sprout block sewn together. You can see I've pressed all the seams open. And now we make this 3 times in the pattern, zone 5, 6, and 10. Each of them have different setting pieces. So go ahead and add those. For this one, we have a little bit skinnier one here. It actually, I'm wondering if it even matters. Probably doesn't matter if these get switched, it doesn't matter. And then add that to your top. So this is a basic block for all 3 of the sprout blocks in Floral Felicity. And even the fabric placement is the same on each of them. Here is the sprout block for zone 5. And again, now is the time to check your size, trim a little bit if you need to, and good job getting the sprout done for block 5.